Hi, now we're going to talk about writing. I think it's really important that they learn to write their sounds. I'm going to show you two kinds of paper. This is kindergarten paper, and then this is first grade paper. I usually ask them what paper they like. The younger kids usually like the bigger paper. So that's what, now I want your kids to use pencils with erasers because they'll make mistakes. I'm going to show you how to do this with a Sharpie, but I don't want them using pens or Sharpies or anything like that. Pencils are best. The first sound we're going to do is ah, and they start at the top of this dotted line. I'm going to put a 1 there, and they're going to go around, up, and down, just like that, around, up, and down, and have them say it, around, up, and down. Emphasize they should kiss the line. They kind of like that. If their fine motor isn't that developed, you can make dots for them like that, and then they can come over with their pencil and they can, but always go around, up, and down. And they can just practice these so then they can make them. Okay? Now once they can make them, I do this on a piece of paper. I use these little rods, but you can use pennies or whatever you want. And it's called dictation, and that means you're going to say it and they're going to write it. So this is ah, 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 and they're going to write ah, ah, ah. And this is showing them, once again, left to right, spaces between words and sounds, and on a straight line, the setup of the language. Here's another one. Ah, ah, ah. So, and you want them to know where the spaces are. Ah, ah, ah. And I think it's really good with physical objects. Now, I always give them stars, and I usually like to make it fun, do it in a color or something. So like, they do a good job. And if they do really good ones, I put it above them. And then they write it, ah, ah, ah. Then I have them read it, and then I give them the star. And then they go ah, 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 and I give them the star. You can give as many stars as you want. But they love that immediate reward to see what they've done right. Okay? Next one, we're just going to continue. Here's 4. You can do these, I think probably each lesson do a separate one, but for the video I'm just going to do all the letters so you can see how to make them. So is down, over, up, and down. And have them say it. Down, over, up, and down. If they need dots, give them dots. Okay? Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to give them the with the ah, right? We'll call this 1. So you're going to get your props out. So you're going to go ah, and they're going to go ah. And don't be impatient. They're learning how to write. They're going to do it a lot slower than you and I, but they're learning. Remember, this is a learning thing. Change it up. Number 2, you go, let's see, I'll say So switch it up. Here's another one. Don't forget to give them stars. Number 3, you can go like this. And they have to see where the spaces are. Okay, and give them their stars for their really fabulous ones. Then number 4, we're going to go to I. Now this is a pretty easy one. You know, you don't have to say how you write it, but you know, it's a straight line with a little dot, and you do it the same way, okay? Get another piece of paper. We'll start over again. Number 1. Do the rods, little here. And we could start out like this. I, I, I. I, I, I. Second one could be I, I. I, I. Giving them stars each time, okay? The next one is ah, like octopus, ah. And you want them to touch the dotted line and the solid red line when they come around. I like kids to start their letters at the top. I think it's a better control thing. The only one you can't do that with is I. I don't like it when kids start their letters from the bottom. I don't think it gives them the right amount of control. So here with ah, you can do ah, ah, ah. So now, see, they have 4 of them. Ah, ah, ah. And however much time it takes to learn them, go slow. You know, you're teaching these sounds one at a time. You're building. So, you know, take your time with this. Their fine motor is just developing. And then the last one is which is the hardest to say and the hardest to write because it starts in the middle of the line between the dotted and the solid red. So you have to go sideways, around, sideways, around. They need dots, you do dots, and they copy the dots. Okay? And then here's your props. I. And it's good to do that because these sounds are so close. I. Give them stars. And then let's do one more. How about A. Okay? That's how you do the writing. I think, you know, you should put some attention on it. They do like to write. You'll see in the videos, my little guy that helped me out, Dominic, wanted to write them. I think it's an important step, so don't leave this out.